to Just Us Thinking. I am your host, Michael.
And I'm your co-host, Rebecca.
And I'm your sound guy, Mikey.
And here we are for another podcast.
Yes, we are.
So, getting into fall.
Yeah, it's that time of the year. Lots of hay rack rides, bonfires, and s'mores.
Did you stumble there?
Yeah, a little.
Have you been drinking on that hay rack ride?
No, I haven't.
No, you can. Those wineries are having them now. Those are really nice, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. One of the ones that we recently visited, they have hay rack rides through the vineyards.
Oh, that's the
Deer Springs.
Deer Springs, out there in Lincoln.
Down in Lincoln, yep.
Yep. So that's a really nice one.
It was really nice, yep.
So they do s'mores. So it's that time of year.
It is.
We're going to get ready to fire up our fire pit, right?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Cross our fingers.
Yeah.
Get some little wood burning going and little s'mores.
Yeah,
we got drink.
We got a lot of wood to burn.
Oh, we do. We do. So what's this episode going to be about?
These are going to be about the good old Swiss cheese streets of Omaha and everywhere else.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's horrible out there, isn't it?
It is. It's kind of crazy.
Are you dropping stuff over there, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm trying, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, good old times.
Yep. So now the dogs are sleeping.
They are.
One by our feet and one over on the little blanket over there.
Yep, they are out.
Gone.
They're getting pretty good about podcast time.
Well, so here's what we do. So we remove their collars.
Yeah, and then they
just lay down.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It is a little crazy.
It's like their battery pack or something. They get out of control, just remove their collar. They're good. No, I think they're been doing enough podcasts with us.
Yeah.
That once we remove those collars, they decide they're just going to lay down. So
yeah, they're good little pups.
They are. So, all right, what do we got for our Swiss cheese streets? Because they're getting pretty bad.
They are, yeah. They started work up on our street, and so that's been fun trying to dodge the manholes and the...
Why do they do it now? It's fall.
I know.
Okay. They can't enjoy the hay rack rides because they're too busy tearing up streets. Shouldn't they have done that in the spring or early? Or
summer.
Yeah, beginning of summer. Get that stuff done so it's nice and warm. You get that stuff done and over and done with.
Yep.
I don't know. We woke up, it's kind of been chilly, isn't it?
It has been, yeah. We've haven't turned the furnace on, but we've been using our space heater. Yeah, so getting kind of chilly. So it is, yeah.
So yeah, these potholes are kind of makes you leave your soul when you hit one, right?
They do, and you find that 2 or 3 bedroom, 1 or 2 bath, or with a swimming pool.
Yeah, no joke.
So many options.
I know. I think there was a 2-story over on 72nd the other day.
Yeah, there's been a couple 2-stories out there here and there.
Oh, Sadie woke up. Yeah.
She's like, enough of your...
Yep.
I'm going to go chase the cat now.
So you're going to chase the cat? All right.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we got for our topics today?
So the first topic, or first thing I kind of was interested about, was the top 3 worst cities in the U.S.
Top 3. Okay, what was number 3?
Number 3 was good old Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay.
So weather, could that be weather related?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because they get a little bit colder than we do up down here, but...
A little more snow too, don't they?
Probably, yeah. So... Yeah,
Minnesota winter is not fun, so I'm sure it could do its damage on the streets.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
So, what's number 2?
Number 2, surprisingly, was Orlando, Florida.
They don't get snow.
They don't.
I don't think Florida gets snow. What's that about then?
I have no idea.
What's their excuse?
I don't know. I was going to say it's all the golf carts, but those probably don't do much damage.
They don't weigh enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't see that.
Yeah. So who knows?
Yeah. Number 1. Who is number 1?
Number 1 was good old St. Louis, Missouri.
I could see St. Louis because that is a good hub area. So I think everything going from East Coast to West Coast, possibly, especially if it goes from New York or the upper states across, I could see them going right through St. Louis in that area.
Yeah.
Because doesn't I-70 run right through St. Louis?
It's I-70, yeah.
And I-70 goes all the way through because we got I-70 goes right through here into Colorado all the way over, right?
That's I-80.
Is that I-80? Where's 70? 70 is south.
South.
That goes into Kansas City.
That goes through Kansas.
Okay. Oh, then, yeah, okay. Now I remember. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of interesting. So it's like even numbers, like 70, 60, 80. They all run east, west, west, east.
Right.
And it's the I-5, 101, all the odd numbers go north and south.
Correct. Yep.
So, yeah, 70 goes from one side of the country to the other almost all the way, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that right through the heartland. I mean...
yeah, there's not much in Kansas, though.
Well, but that's where the big trucks going right through that area is, I mean...
Yeah, that's true, but that's on all interstates, though. I
know, but how many times have we gone to Colorado or down there and saw all the trucks going? I wonder if the RVs, there's a lot of RVs out now. I wonder if those are heavy vehicles. I wonder if those are what's causing a little bit of... They
could be, and all the semi-trucks, delivery trucks, all those kind of things, yeah. That could...
Oh, the pandemic could have made everything worse. Well, everybody's getting deliveries.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Right? I mean, you didn't even think of that, did you?
No.
So, instead of people going to take their little sedan out to go get groceries, now they're having these big delivery trucks coming in delivering groceries and all kinds of stuff, right?
I wouldn't say the big delivery trucks, but I mean...
Well, the size of a FedEx. Have you seen some of those delivery trucks?
They mostly use those little vans for deliveries like that.
Those Amazon uses little vans, right?
Yeah, but so does Hy-Vee.
Those aren't that little. Those weigh more than your car, don't they?
I don't know. I would think so,
I can guarantee you they weigh more than your car. And then you load that stuff up with all kinds of items. And instead of one person's groceries, they're not going to go take that whole van out to deliver one person's groceries. They load up 5 or 6 people's groceries and they go.
Yeah. So, who knows? It's all kind of crazy.
All right, so that's the top 3 worst. So, and those are cities.
Those are cities, yep.
Where do we stand on the states?
So I found the top 10 states.
All right.
Yep. So starting off in 10th place was New York.
So New York was number 10.
Correct.
I could see that with the amount of traffic that goes through New York.
Yeah, I'm surprised they weren't kind of higher up on the list, to be honest.
Well, that's true. Well, yeah, I could see them being on the list just with the amount of traffic. So, all right, they're number 10.
Yep, and number 9 is Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania kind of seems weird, doesn't it?
That does, because, I mean, yeah, you have a couple major cities, but a lot of that is like Amish country, isn't it?
It's the horses. The horses are doing it. They're farting, causing pollution that way.
Oh, yeah.
And their hooves are gouging the roads.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's all I got.
Okay.
That was number 9. What was number 8?
Number 8 was Tennessee.
Honky Tonk, Tennessee.
Honky Tonk, yep.
Those good old boys don't know how to drive down there, or...
Apparently not. They don't know how to build the roads, I guess. Who knows?
Generally jumping too much and causing divots as it lands. Is that what's going on?
When you hit it on the head there.
Yeah. All right. That's number 8.
Yep.
Number 7.
Number 7 is Illinois. Everybody's favorite state.
That's nobody's favorite state. I don't even think they like that state.
Yeah, probably
they
not.
Live there. Illinois, so that's
Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Chicago's a big city.
Yeah. So, you don't really have... Like, I'm trying to think. There's not... Chicago, and they got, like, Springfield, but they don't have a lot of really big cities there. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, Illinois. Okay.
Yeah.
They're number 7. Number 6.
Number 6 is Massachusetts.
Wow.
Which I can kind of see because it's like a smaller state and they've got a lot of more people. So that's probably...
A lot of more people?
A lot more people.
You said a lot of more people.
Hey.
Oh, jeez. But I understand it's a smaller state. Wouldn't that be easier to maintain?
You would think, but...
I mean, imagine having a mansion and imagine cleaning that. And then imagine having like a 1-bedroom studio and having to clean that. You would think the mansion would take a lot more maintenance than that 1-bedroom studio.
You would think, yeah.
So you would think they'd have their shit together.
Well, in a perfect world, yeah.
Yeah. They're too busy over there in Massachusetts throwing tea over into the ocean and seeing what they can do.
Or I know when we went up there, probably about 10, 20 years ago, they were working on a big construction project called the Big Dig.
So they're putting in potholes? That's the Big Dig? No,
they were trying to make more like transportation area, like more better transit roads. So they may have messed up while they were doing that and caused more potholes.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Let's add more roads that we can't fix.
Yeah.
Okay. That's number 6. Number 5
is Ohio.
Okay.
Ohio.
It's not a very big state. What's there in Ohio? Matt Rife is from Ohio, I believe.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he says it's a shithole. So.
Yeah, I've heard kind of some things about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've really ever been.
Columbus is the only place I know in Ohio.
Columbus, Cincinnati.
Oh, Cincinnati.
Cleveland.
Oh, yeah, Cincinnati. Cleveland, Ohio. Okay.
Yeah.
I know a little bit more about Ohio than I really wasn't even going to give them credit for. WKRP in Cincinnati. Okay,
yep.
Yeah.
That's actually right across the river from Louisville.
From Louisville?
From Louisville.
I'm just making your Aunt Candy shake her head at me and scream into her headphones.
Yeah. Damn that, Michael.
That's pretty cool. All right. And then number 4.
It's actually our home state of Nebraska.
Listen, this is not the top 10 I wanted to
make. Which I don't understand either, but hey, we
have nothing here. Well, we have what's the big cities here? Lincoln and Omaha, and those aren't very big.
Yeah, Grand Island.
Grand Island is even smaller, right?
Yeah.
Like Omaha's bigger than Lincoln.
Right.
Lincoln's bigger than
Grand Island.
Yeah. And then you have the hick towns.
Yeah. So.
Like Nebraska City, which has like 10 people living in it.
I think they have more than 10.
I'm sure. There's
Ogallala.
Fort Kearny. Oh, you're confused. I confused you. Did he say that right?
Kearny.
Fort Kearny.
No. Kearny.
See, I always say that wrong. And the one time I say it right, he completely threw you off.
Yeah.
So,
I
gotta keep you on your toes.
Oh, that's true.
So, all right. So Nebraska's number 4. That doesn't surprise me because I live here and I've seen the roads.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3.
Number 3 is Michigan.
Michigan, really?
Yeah. I haven't been there, so I don't know really. Well, I flew through there once. Maybe. Yeah. At least once.
So I guess you got to know your geography if you're going to do this podcast, right? So Michigan is above us.
Correct. It's northeast of us.
Yeah. Somewhere over by Ohio, right?
Yeah. What?
We need a map so we could look up a map because I'm willing to bet all these ones are like really close because I know Illinois and Ohio and Michigan are all pretty close together.
Yeah, they are. Because you have like Illinois and then you have like the one lake, and then you have Ohio.
What lake?
One of the Great Lakes.
Just one of them?
I can't remember which one it is. I think it's Lake Erie.
Or Superior.
Yeah, one of the... Yeah, I don't know. One of the 5.
One of the 5. There's only 5 Great Lakes.
Yeah.
All right. That was number 3, Michigan. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Number 2 was Indiana.
Indiana. Don't they have like a raceway down there?
Yeah, the...
Indianapolis
500.
500?
Yeah.
You would think they'd know how to do some roads down there. They have like a world famous racetrack. I mean, they should know how to put their shit together.
You'd think, yeah.
So, all right. So who's number 1?
Number 1, and this goes to the West Coast, state of Washington.
Really?
Yeah. Which kind of surprises me too. I mean, you've got Seattle, but I mean, everything else is like Omaha, Lincoln size, so...
Well, they got to keep the roads bad so the Canucks don't come down.
The who?
The Canucks.
Who are those?
Canadian people.
Oh.
So
Okay.
they got to keep all those Canucks up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they come down and walk a boot, and you got to keep them up there because these roads are bad, yay, and they have to go right back up.
Yep.
I think it's wet up there all the time, right? I hear it rains like crazy in Washington and Oregon.
Yep.
That might I could kind of see their problem there. So
I'm surprised California wasn't on that list.
Me too.
I mean, because they suck at everything else, but
and I mean that state is one of the bigger states.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of roads. I mean, their freeways are like 12 lanes across.
I know, it's
going one direction.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember driving up from, I drove up from San Diego to LA, I think. And yeah, the traffic was crazy. I was like, whoa.
There's 2 speeds in California. I'm from California. There's 2 speeds. You're either stop or you're going 90 miles an hour. That's it. There is no in between.
Yeah.
When you hit that on-ramp, you better be able to hit 80, 90 before you get off that off-ramp onto the freeway.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get run over.
Right.
So maybe that's what it is. They're like, you know what? Everybody drives 90. We better keep these roads straight. Because driving a car and hitting a car or hitting a pothole at 90 miles an hour, you're going to Fast and Furious it.
Yeah.
That's going to be a heartbeat. So crazy. So
crazy.
All right. So those are kind of our list, right?
That's our list, yeah.
So let's kind of go back in here to Omaha.
Okay.
So Omaha, our roads are horrible.
Yeah, they are.
And from what I understand, what I've kind of come up with was reading different articles and a few things. It's not just a simple fix. So a while ago, and we're talking decades, like a decade ago or longer at this point, the roadways that were made in Omaha, they went cheap.
Okay. So
they did cheap material. And unfortunately, we don't have good weather all the time.
Yeah.
So the problem that you run into is the roads, we get hot, cold. Because, I mean, we had a couple days that it was like pushing the 100.
Right.
And then it gets down to 32, 0, freezing, below 0. I mean, there's been times I've walked out and it's been like negative temperatures.
Yeah. Not in the same week, but...
Well, yeah, not that extreme, but there's been times where...
It goes from 90 to 60 maybe in a matter of a couple days.
Our weather changes like it saw a popo sitting on the side of the freeway.
Yep.
You're cruising at 90 and all of a sudden that popo, you're down to 40. And I mean, we've woken up to it's been in the 30s and woke up and they're like, wow, it got pretty nice today at 80. So take a jacket in the morning.
Yep.
Wear shorts in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. And evening, you got to put back on your jacket.
Yep.
So it's a combination of poor materials and weather that fluctuates quite a bit.
Right.
So the problem that you run into is if you're going to have weather that we have, you better use better material.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that I hate that they do here, and I don't know if they do it in other cities or I'm sure they probably do.
Yeah.
Because it's, cut and paste for these guys. I hate when they patch a spot and there's been roads where we gone through and you could, like, in a 2-mile spot, you could count that they've patched the road like 100 different times.
Yeah.
And you're like, listen, after you patch the same block 15, 20 times, maybe patching it isn't going to be the answer. Maybe you need to rip that shit up and redo it.
Yeah, and I like what they just did to, I think it's 75 South. So it's the portion from like Sorensen Freeway up to like I-80 downtown area.
Right.
There's like a mile stretch where it's like you can see the patch on one side of the lane and then like across from it and like just like zigzag back and forth. They made that road so much worse.
So where the patch road comes together, it's like a wavy line.
Yeah. I mean, you can see squares where it's like square, 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 square. It's
so the
or like square, rectangle, square, rectangle.
So the problem with that is when you're riding a motorcycle, I hate to say it, but you can't even swerve out of that.
Yeah.
Or they create the death lines where when they patch the road, they don't patch it per lane. They just patch it kind of weird.
Yeah.
And it causes these like cracks to form all the way up in the road.
Mm-hmm.
That's you're going to cause motorcycles to hit those. And I will tell you, you better be an experienced rider on a motorcycle if you're coming to Omaha.
Yeah. And see, what cracks me up is like the northbound lanes, they like grinded those down and then they blacktop them, I think.
Oh my God, I love those roads.
And it's so smooth. But then it's like, so they're like, you want to travel this road? We'll mess it up for you one way and make it good for you the other way. Like,
and that, I guess that's my frustration too, is you see that they could, obviously they have the ability to do it the correct way, right?
Right. And they don't.
And they just flat out don't.
Yeah.
Because I know the patch because you hear the road noise, right? So you hear that grind, you hear everything.
Yeah, it like shakes.
Yeah, and the minute you hit that like nice spot, it's like everything gets quiet.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden you realize your music was too loud, so you're turning it down. Yeah. You're like, you go to talk to someone and you're like, oh, I don't have to yell at you. What the heck here?
I know.
This is crazy. And then just as you start to go, wow, this is nice. What do you think? Back on the road, and then you're yelling, and you have to turn back up the radio.
Yeah,
not crazy.
You get 10 seconds of happiness.
I think it's 12 if you drive the speed limit.
Okay, 12, yeah. But we all know we don't do the speed limit, so.
Well, that's true. That's true. So it's a cheap material that they used in the beginning, and I hate to say I just found this out. Our mayor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
She doesn't live in Omaha.
She doesn't?
She lives in Missouri. Yep. She's the mayor of Omaha, but she lives in Missouri.
Really?
Yep. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be in that office.
They do have a house here, though, right?
Well, when you're rich, you can have houses other places, so... again, my only problem with politics and the only political thing I'm going to get is they're all corrupt and they're just in it for the money and themselves.
Okay.
So she's the mayor of Omaha, but she spends most of her time down in Missouri.
Oh, okay.
So she don't live here. She doesn't know how the roads are. I have a problem with that. You drive up here on these roads for a little bit, and you drive your own personal car, not a government car that you get maintained by the government or by the local, whoever you have. You pay for out of your pocket when you hit a pothole, and I have to pay for a new tire, new shocks, and a the a prostate exam because my sphincter got a little closed when I hit that pothole a little too hard. That's a problem.
That would be a problem.
So now our bridges aren't so bad here, but you go right across the river, and then you get into Council Tucky, Council Bluffs area, and don't they have a bridge down there that's having an issue?
Yeah, they just had a news article about the new viaduct that they put in, and somebody took a picture of it. Like, it was, part of it was like crumbling, and part of the steel was exposed. And
so those bridges can take an enormous amount of damage before they will completely collapse.
Right.
I know that.
Yeah.
I think most people can understand that.
Yeah.
A little bit of cracking isn't going to take the whole bridge down. It takes a lot more than that. But
it's just, with all the new bridges that they build over there, it doesn't quite, put your mind at ease, but
is that the new bridge they built?
it's one of the newer ones, yeah.
So if the newer one is already cracking, so that tells me they either cheaped out on the materials,
Mm-hmm.
or they didn't know how to. They weren't paying attention when they were doing it.
Yeah.
And they cheapened something, obviously.
Yeah. They said because of the way it was built that it was still structurally sound. But I don't know if you remember that bridge. Didn't part of I-35 up in Minneapolis collapse like a while back?
You do hear about some of the bridges collapsing every once in a while.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty bad one.
Don't tell me they said the same thing. That, oh no, this is structurally sound.
Yeah. I think that
Trust me, it won't fall until it does.
I don't quite remember what the whole deal with that one was, because it's been a while, but yeah.
I'm just saying, if it's a newer bridge and it's already starting to break apart, yeah. I get it. I understand it might the chance of it breaking down, completely, but that still doesn't instill the best confidence when I'm going across that bridge.
Right.
I may pick a different route.
And you would think as long as that all that construction took over there, that you hope that they did it right, but
well, I mean, and here's the thing. On paper, they could say, well, yeah, this is the way it was supposed to be built, so it's due to take a little cracking. But what if they skip corners?
Yeah.
If they're going to be cheap on the material, could they have been a little cheap on the labor? And then, someone, had a little too much to drink the night before when they're like, yeah, this looks good. I think that'll work. Yeah, right there. Just patch that right there. Oh, we're good to go. All right. Happy hour. Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where's that limit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not 100%. What you like my hick accent?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything to entertain you a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Here's my other thing is so Council Bluffs, they have a couple bridges that I call hurricane disaster zones.
Yeah.
Their art, I'm gonna gather it. I'm hoping they're called artwork, right?
They do, yeah.
And it's basically giant spears.
Yeah.
That they have assembled and
Yeah, almost like not an awning, but it's, what do you call it when
they have giant points at the end.
Yeah. And there's a lot of them.
You're right. It's not just one. They decided, someone did that and go, wow, those are giant pointed, shafts.
Yeah.
That in my world, and I'm a gamer. I can see a giant picking one of those up and using them as a weapon. Okay, so if anybody that plays D&D or plays those games, imagine them picking up a piece of rebar
Yeah.
that's huge that a giant could carry and then stabbing things with. So when a tornado
hurricane?
hurricane,
We have hurricanes now?
a bad enough hurricane can get to us, I'm sure. A tornado.
Okay.
Tornado.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a tornado picking those up? We have those here.
We do.
So can you imagine that getting whooped up in a tornado? Next thing you know, it's like that tornado's throwing spears all over the place.
Yeah. And then the other set of artwork that they have, because the one you're talking about is actually in town, and then they have the one over...
Which is so much better.
Yeah. They have the other one over I-80, like by the big truck stops and everything.
Yes. Bigger targets for the tornado hit at.
Yeah.
I could pick one of these. I bet you I could hit that truck.
Right? Yeah. I don't get it, but hey.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of crazy. So
that is. And then so we all know Facebook, social media, and the memes.
I love some good memes.
Love the memes. So do you know what's your like funniest meme you can remember seeing?
My favorite was the guy that was planting stuff in the potholes.
Potholes, yeah. I like the growing trees and all kinds of stuff.
So apparently a guy, I don't know where I have no idea, and he's gotten around to other states too. Mm-hmm. So
wasn't there one that like traveled from state to state and was planting stuff? Yeah.
So he would find a big enough pothole and he'd plant a tree in there. And like right in the middle of the road, people were swerving around, and of course it caused attention, and they'd go out there and have to fix it, right? Yeah. So that was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah. You get the fishing ones where you see,
Oh, I have seen those ones. They're with a fishing rod there. Yeah. And I've seen those too. Those are funny too. Yeah.
I also like the ones that like you show like half a car in them.
Yeah. Well, and
that's more a sinkhole than a pothole.
There's a couple of them that are I think it was it looked like a Zillow ad. Yeah. And it's like 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, and the pictures are all the potholes that were there. Oh, yeah. So I'm like, these guys, they've taken this way too far. They like put a lot of effort into these potholes. So, I guess the biggest, what is it, the pothead humor too? Yeah. Have you seen any of that?
I've seen them, yeah.
What's that about?
So obviously growing marijuana plants in them, and stuff like that down in like, I guess the states where it's like legal and stuff. And a lot of Colorado ones about those.
It gives a whole new meaning to ditchweed, right?
It does. Make sure it's the good stuff.
At that point, you just, as you're driving by, you're like, oh yeah, just reach out the window and pluck you some and you're good to go.
Yep.
People might not mind the potholes then.
Yeah, they probably don't mind those.
The potheads don't mind the potholes. Yeah. They just drive by and pluck a little bit on.
Yep. We'll take that one home.
Can you imagine, some potheads like that? If that's what they're really doing, can you imagine that pothole? It's like, we're going to go down this road. No, don't go down there. There's too many potholes. I know. So that's the one we like.
Oh, that's too funny.
That would be crazy. Well, see, and now I think Missouri, marijuana is legal. Yeah. Colorado, it's legal. Mm-hmm. Iowa, I believe, has medical.
I think so, yeah.
And then didn't South Dakota get it either medical or legalize it there too?
I think they did, but I read somewhere where it was like, I guess not rescinded, but they
changed their minds.
They changed their mind on it, yeah.
Because for a while, we were the state that in between all the other states. It's legal everywhere else.
Yeah.
So
Nebraska wants the revenue from those people driving through.
yeah, that's the problem is you get more revenue if you just make it legal here.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, if you wanted to get some marijuana, realistically, it's a couple hours away.
Realistically, yeah.
And then you come back and you're good. Now, I have to say the same thing with gambling, too.
Right.
So, if we want to go gamble, 20 minutes and we're gambling.
Yep. Not even 20 minutes.
Right. Now, that goes pretty much anywhere you go. Like, you're Lincoln, right over to Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri has casinos.
Iowa
has casinos. Colorado has casinos.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah, so, again, we're missing... No, we don't want your revenue. Go spend that money in a different state and then come back broke.
Right.
I don't know. Nebraska just... They need to rethink a lot of their crap.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge gambler. Let's be honest. It's not like we go to the casino every night.
No.
How often do you think we go to the casino?
Oh gosh.
Right. We went once this year.
We did, yeah.
We went once this year, and we were talking about going a second time.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know. I remember. I think I went over.
I'm just not crossing that bridge.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I went over with my dad.
Oh yeah, you and your dad have gone a couple times as well.
Yeah, we went over because I remember. I think masks were still required at that point.
Well, that's over a year ago. That was last year.
Yeah, so I think it was.
I think you went one time with the masks were off too. So you've been actually to the casino more than I have.
Yeah.
And your dad will go spend $20 and then leave.
Yeah.
he just does it to get out of the house. That's not really gambling. So.
No. So.
And then I would like to be a pothead, but
that stuff's expensive.
I have no joke. But I have responsibilities.
Right.
So that kind of takes that off the table for me.
Yeah.
And I don't make enough money gambling to support a habit there.
Yeah.
Although I'd have to go more than once every 2-3 years. So maybe I'm doing this wrong.
Maybe.
So I just don't understand why Nebraska is the way they are. So that's a whole other story. But
that's a whole rampage later.
That is well, I mean,
when we start getting political, we'll go there.
Right. I think where I'm driving is legalize marijuana in Nebraska. Use all that money for potholes.
Yeah.
So campaign is pot for pot.
Yeah.
Everybody would be happy. I'll be more than happy to deal with stoners.
Okay.
And those potheads if my roads are straight.
And filled.
And I don't have to bounce all over the road or anything like that.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. They're already here.
Yeah.
If you think that there's not people in this state smoking marijuana when it's literally 2 hours away, is the same argument I have is saying that gambling is not legal in Nebraska. You're telling me those people that want to gamble, they're going to drive right over there and gamble.
Yeah.
So
because I know we left out Kansas because it's legal in Kansas too.
Oh, that's true too. So yeah, I mean, it's really right there.
Yeah.
So if you want it, you're going to get it. So it's not like you can't sit here and say, well, Nebraska doesn't have any gamblers. Yes, we do. We're just spending it in other states.
Right. Go to Iowa or Kansas.
We're not potheads here, so, there's plenty of them here.
Yeah.
I've smelled it here.
Yeah.
Stuff gives me, the smell sometimes gives me a headache.
Yeah.
So, that's,
it's like, ugh.
Yeah. I know people that do it. I know them personally. I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not a rat. I know people that gamble. I'm no rat there. So,
yep.
Potheads for potholes. Yeah, Pot for potholes.
Pot for potholes.
We would have the best roads. We would not even be. We would be number 50 on that list if we did that.
Well, no, wait, because Washington is legalized there, and they're number 1 on bad roads.
That's the problem, though. So here's the problem. The roads were bad.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't allocate the money from marijuana to their potholes. So now you have potheads that don't want to fill the potholes.
Okay.
There's no motivation. You have to give these folks a motivation. Listen, if you told every pothead in this state said, hey, 1 day a week, you got to come help fill potholes and we'll legalize marijuana, we would have road crews coming out the yin-yang.
Yeah, that's true.
You mean I can smoke if I go fix a road every once in a while? Hell yeah. I might do it. Come on now. So, all right. So now we're getting into kind of controversial there with the drugs. There, we do not condone drug use.
No.
Do that safely in your home house.
Yep.
Away from people. All right. I think we've done. I think we went far enough.
I think we did too. So another good show.
Yep. So fix the potholes. States, do better.
Yep.
Get your shit together. Stop cheaping out. Get better roads, better material. Better material. That's it. That is it. I hate it.
That is it.
Just pisses me off. You're gonna spend more on the cheap material replacing every 6 months.
Right.
Do it once and be done.
Exactly.
All right. I think that's going to be our show.
Alrighty. Bye, everybody.